And the 7 P's were prior, proper planning, prevent, piss poor performance. The 7 P's.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
So you take what your mentors tell you, and then you apply the 7 P's of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of molds you into a thinker that has all planning covered in conjunction with and in combination with making sure that my planning is setting me up to make a good decision that is going to be good decision today, 5 weeks from today, 5 years from today.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very forecasted kind of way of looking at the world. And I took a tremendous amount of knowledge away from the Marines, and right, is to protect and be that line between order and chaos. Now that function takes on 100 different forms. It can be by way of coming to talk to a kid who's not feeling great that day. It can be by way of arresting a domestic offender. It can be by way of stopping a motorist to let them know your tail light's out. That line takes 100, 1,000 different forms every day. And yes, humanizing the badge is very much, it's very sorely needed in this current climate right now. 9 out of 10 times we will be approached by a deputy chief or a chief after the training session, and they'll be like, we want you to come to RPD and train our entire administrative staff in this, right? And so, and that's how we start spreading the word of adaptive leader. And we start spreading the frameworks of don't get locked into looking at the world this way. We promote the fact that leadership is a network, not a hierarchy. And when you and your staff can take ownership of a problem and collectively, collaboratively come up with a response, then everyone owns the unit mission.
Right.
And it's not just the head of a division giving tasks, because at that point, all you're doing is delegating tasks. But when you delegate responsibility, they own that problem right there with you, right?
Absolutely.
So what we do is we set conditions for departments to have this sort of success. We have found that there are very niched areas of police training that never receive a lot of attention. Our second biggest focus is in report writing, right? We are, as far as I can tell, Offset Consulting is the only company in the country that is teaching police sergeants, police supervisors, how to review and approve subsequently reports.
Right.
The assumption is that once you get promoted to sergeant, you're going to know what a good report looks like. And that could not be farther from the truth, Clee, because if you were a bad report writer as a patrolman, just getting by writing minimum standard reports, just barely meeting the basic standard, or if you were a detective who didn't have a lot of good report writing skills, once you get promoted, you're just going to be a bad report approver. And I have talked to sergeants and captains and corporals in the hundreds, and no one can tell me that they have received any sort of formal training in how to review police reports. And this is horrible. Here's why. Police reports are the one thing that will be completely dissected in court by the defense attorneys, the state's attorneys, by the judges. And police reports are what will be used to get you sued, fired, right? Or if you work in an environment that is very anti-police, sometimes even charged, arrested, indicted, and charged, right? We're seeing more of that in the police environment.
Yes,
and so we pride ourselves in being the only company that has a dedicated IDList, nationally certified approved program to certify police supervisors who approve reports for their agency with a system that guarantees complete reports. We call it the gap-free narrative. And they take this system and it changes the way they look at reports for the rest of their careers, Clee. So those are the 2 focuses that we have right now. Those are our 2 flagship courses, and we are having trouble keeping up with the demand because of how much need there is for leadership training. And more importantly, again, in an effort to minimize liability for your sergeants, your patrolmen, your detectives, your agency as a whole, so many agencies have come up with the need for, oh my God, you're training sergeants how to approve this? Yes, please come and train our people.